So many of you celebrate Christmas or understand what the Christmas traditions in America involve. However, many of you may not know that Christmas traditions in Austria are very different. Many of you have a tradition or holiday that you celebrate towards the end of the year, and many of those traditions can be very different. However, even the tradition of Christmas can be very different across cultures. For example, did you know that the Austrians believe in the evil Krampus or that they don't believe in Santa Claus? I personally follow most of the traditions that America has in place for celebrating Christmas. However, I am a descendant of people who live in Europe and Austria, and Christmas has always been one of my favorite holidays to learn about, so I'm really excited to learn more about the Austrian Christmas. Though many of us may not be aware of it, the way Austrians celebrate Christmas is very different from the way we celebrate Christmas here in America. First, I will talk about some of the symbols that the Austrians use to celebrate Christmas, then I will talk about how they celebrate Christmas in general, and lastly, I will compare the differences between how we celebrate Christmas in America and how they celebrate Christmas in Austria. So there are many symbols that Austrians use to give the Christmas season more meaning. The local Austrian newspaper stated on December 21st, 2016, that there are many examples of the different symbols used during the Christmas season. One object they use is the Advent wreath. Advent is also known as the Christmas season, and it begins 4 Sundays before Christmas Eve, and that is when the first candle on the Advent wreath is lit. One candle is lit every week to symbolize each week until Christmas, totaling in 4 candles. They used to have about 20 candles in their Advent wreath, but that was considered a fire hazard, so they switched it to 4, much like people in America use for their Advent candles. Another object found in many Austrian homes at Christmas is Barbara twigs. The local Austria stated that December 4th is Barbara Tag, which is a day dedicated to Saint Barbara. Many Austrians cut small twigs from cherry trees and place them in a vase in their houses. If they blossom, as shown in this picture here, by Christmas Eve, it is seen as a sign of good luck and health for the following year. Austrians have many traditions when it comes to celebrating Christmas. One such tradition was explained in Christmas Legends Recipes from Around the World by Robin Dreyer, written in 2016. December 5th is known as St. Nicholas Eve or Krampus Day. Krampus, as pictured right here, is an evil spirit or devil figure that is always pictured covered in fur. He is meant to punish children who have been naughty throughout the year. It is on this day that people gather in their town square to throw snowballs at figures of Krampus, hopefully to ward off his spirit. The next day, on December 6th, is St. Claus Day, where hopeful children wait to get either a present if they were good or a rod if they were bad from Krampus. One other tradition that they hold that Robin Dreyer described is how people in Austria will decorate one Christmas tree and lock it away behind a door. On Christmas Day, the door is then unlocked and the children were greeted with all the wonders of Christmas. One last tradition described in the local Austria was called smoking nights. It stated that the 12 nights around Christmas is a time where people burn incense and palm branches from Easter. This is done to keep the devil and evil beings away from the household. There are many differences between Austria and American Christmas traditions. For example, the Acta Lingua blog written on July 24, 2017, stated that Austrian children don't believe in Santa Claus. However, they do believe in Christ kind or Christ child. Christ child is often depicted with blonde locks, wings, and a halo, much like an angel. He is the one who delivered gifts to children, whereas in America, Santa Claus and his reindeer deliver us presents. The Advent wreath and the candles are also different. In America, we use 3 purple candles and 1 pink candle, as pictured in this picture here, and in Austria, their wreaths are usually handmade and contain 4 red candles. Christmas trees are also decorated differently. In Austria, many people place real candles on their Christmas trees, whereas in America, people usually stick to fake candles or just ornaments. So today we learned about the symbols the Austrians use to give their Christmas more meaning, and then we talked about how they celebrate Christmas, and lastly we compared the difference between American Christmas traditions and Austrian Christmas traditions. Austria has such a different culture to America, so it's very interesting to learn how different these two cultures are when it comes to celebrating Christmas. Learning about different cultures is so important, so I hope you all learned a little bit about how two different countries can celebrate Christmas in very different ways.